Angelina, sometimes I think we take for granted just how much television has evolved. But imagine, for a moment, a time when TV was barely a concept, let alone a medium for dramatic storytelling.
It's wild to think about, isn't it? We're so used to streaming, on-demand, perfect takes. What was it like back then? I mean, 1947, right? That's practically a different world.
Exactly. Picture this, a tiny spark, really, in a New York studio. That's where the Kraft television theater premiered. And it wasn't just another show, it was an absolute gamble, a daring experiment. The idea was to stage live drama, with actors, sets, everything, performed right there before a camera, and then broadcast it into living rooms across the country.
Live drama? On TV? That sounds incredibly ambitious, especially for the technology of the time. Who even thought of that?
Well, the visionaries behind it certainly. And let's not forget the sponsor, Kraft. A consumer brand stepping up to fund this audacious idea. It's like something out of a futuristic novel, but it was happening. People were just getting used to radio in their parlors, and now someone was asking them to welcome moving pictures, and live ones at that.
It's almost hard to grasp the sheer novelty of it. I'm picturing these tiny, fuzzy screens. Was it even watchable?
Oh, it was watchable, but it was a whole different beast. Think about the people in that studio. You had someone like Henry Larkin, the producer, behind a glass window, watching technicians literally coaxing sound from these fragile microphones. And the cameras? They weren't the steady, sophisticated instruments we know today. They trembled, they vibrated with every breath an actor took.
So it wasn't just the actors under pressure, but the whole crew. Everyone had to be on their A game, anticipating every tiny hiccup.
Absolutely. You had May Carter, a playwright, probably sketching out scenes on a yellow pad, trying to craft dialogue that would land with impact even through the grainy black and white image. And Jonas Hale, the director, wearing a watch that wasn't just measuring seconds, but the delicate balance of tension, tempo, and, honestly, trust among everyone involved.
Trust is such a key word there, because with live theater, or live TV in this case, there's no safety net, no retakes. One shot and it's out there for everyone to see.
Exactly. Imagine a young actress, like Alice Munro mentioned in the history books, rehearsing a scene knowing it had to land perfectly, with absolute truth, in just one take. No reshoots, no second chances, and no immediate applause either, just the imagined kind from an audience miles away, sitting in their living rooms.
That's an incredible amount of pressure. It must have been terrifying and exhilarating all at once. What kind of stories were they telling?
The first broadcast itself was like a dare, a courtroom drama unfolding in real time, inches from a camera's gaze, or a domestic tragedy in a kitchen where the clock's ticking probably sounded louder than anything else in the room. They were tackling these intense, relatable human stories.
So, very intimate stories, but being broadcast to potentially millions. It's a fascinating paradox. How did the actors adapt to speaking to a camera instead of a live audience in front of them?
That was a huge learning curve. They had to learn to speak to a room they couldn't see, a room that wasn't physically there, only visible through that grain of black and white imagery. They had to imagine that distant echo of an audience. It fundamentally changed the way they performed.
And on the other side, you have Kraft's managers, probably biting their nails, watching the ratings come in, the sponsors' notes, trying to gauge the pulse of the nation's appetite for this new kind of drama.
Oh, absolutely. It was immediate, intimate, and importantly, affordable entertainment for families. They were tapping into something really primal, that desire for shared storytelling, but bringing it directly into people's homes.
It sounds like it was a symphony of nerves and innovation behind the scenes. This orchestra of tech and timing, as you put it, with everyone trying to make something new work with very limited resources.
That's such a perfect way to put it. And something truly remarkable came out of those constraints. Actors, suddenly, found a new kind of honesty in their performances. They couldn't rely on grand gestures for a distant audience. They had to convey truth for a camera that was right there, up close.
So the limitations actually fostered creativity and a deeper level of performance. That's fascinating, and for the writers too, I imagine.
Definitely. Writers discovered that dialogue truly breathed when lines had to be spoken, not just printed on a page, and that dialogue had to be obeyed by the camera, informing its movements, its focus. It changed the very nature of writing for a visual medium.
And the audience reaction, you said it was immediate, but what was it really like? Were people hooked right away?
A curious hush at first, then a flood of letters. People were mesmerized. They loved the thrill of a shared experience, knowing that what they were watching was happening right now. Some critics even wondered if television would replace the stage altogether.
That's a testament to its power, that it immediately sparked that kind of debate. It wasn't just entertainment, it was a cultural event.
Absolutely. Within months, Kraft Television Theater wasn't just a show, it was a proving ground. It taught American viewers to expect drama that arrived without all the theatrical trappings, just pure craft. It gave actors a brand new stage, and writers a vastly broader audience than live theater ever could.
So it was a pivotal moment. It shaped expectations for what television could be, and it launched careers.
Precisely. And as television screens grew from a novelty to a staple in homes, the allure of live television, that communal performance that happened in the moment, for better or worse, remained undeniable. It was something that truly stayed with you after the final curtain fell.
It really speaks to the magic of live performance, doesn't it? That shared vulnerability, that sense of anything can happen. It's a feeling you just don't get with pre-recorded, highly edited content.
No, you don't. And I think that's why even today, with all our sophisticated tech, there's still a draw to live events, whether it's sports or award shows. That little spark of unpredictable energy, it's what the Kraft Television Theater really introduced to the masses.
It's like a direct lineage, isn't it? From those shaky cameras and fragile mics to our high-definition broadcasts. That core idea of sharing a moment live as it unfolds is still what captivates us. It's truly a foundational piece of television history.
It absolutely is, and it's a great reminder that some of the most groundbreaking innovations start with a simple, audacious idea and a lot of courage to just put it out there.
Couldn't agree more. What an incredible journey into the birth of live television. Thanks, Henry, for sharing that with us today.
My pleasure, Angelina. It's always fascinating to look back at these pivotal moments in history and see how they shaped everything that came after. And for everyone listening, thank you for joining us on this little trip back to 1947.
We hope you enjoyed learning about the Kraft Television Theater as much as we did talking about it. Until next time, keep those stories alive, whether they're live or on demand.